Good morning YouTube, this is Cactus Naga again with a new video. This time is about replacing the radiator on my 97 Geo Prizm. Here is the radiator, and what had happened was it had developed a crack right here. I tried to fix the crack using JB weld and things like that, and it did hold up temporarily, but it needs to be replaced, and this is what I'm going to be doing now. So essentially the first thing that I'm going to be doing is to remove the coolant, and to remove that coolant there is a little stopcock down there, and by putting a shallow pan under it, I'm going to drain the fluid from the radiator. Next thing will be to remove the fan, and in order to do that we'll have to remove these the top radiator hose and get this out of the way, the overflow pipe, and there's going to be some 10mm bolts that are holding the fan in place, and similarly down there's going to be a couple of 10mm bolts that are holding it, one on this side and another on that side too. So we should be able to get the fan off, and once we get the fan off, remove this bolt here is a 12mm, and this bolt here another 12mm, and it should slide right out, and replace it with a new radiator. There's going to be an electrical harness that will have to be removed and kept out of the way, and of course this fan is an electric fan, so the power to the fan comes from there, and there's a little connector there, not very clear in this picture, but let's see if you can see that. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, that's the electrical harness that will have to be disconnected so that the fan can come out. So the first step, of course, is going to be to drain the radiator, which I will be doing now. So there's the radiator fluid draining out. It's collecting into this shallow bucket there. I do intend to reuse the coolant, depending on whether I see any much residue in it. I might actually replace it all, but this is the Radiator red coolant, and it's supposed to be for life, so I'm going to try and reuse that. So while the coolant is draining out, I'm going to remove this overflow pipe, and I will also remove the top radiator hose. A couple of clamps here that need to be loosened up, and it should wiggle right off. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. So as you can see, the overflow pipe has been removed, the top radiator hose has been removed. There is a little more access to get the fan out. I did realize that it was going to be a lot easier if we took out the battery, so that's been taken out, as well as the overflow tank that was right there. Next order of business will be to get this fan off, and that's going to be done by removing these two bolts here. It's 10mm, and there's also a 10mm bolt down here, one on this side down here, and another one on this side that we will have to remove, and the fan should come right out. The whole housing should come off. There's going to be an electrical connection here, as we talked about, that will need to be disconnected. The harness from this side, this wire harness has been taken off from the clamp here and kept to the side, and next thing will be to get the fan housing off. So here it is. The fan has been removed, the 4 bolts and the electrical connection was removed. There is a little latch that you need to depress by pressing downwards, and that will loosen up the upper from the lower body, and it separates out. Here is a little bit of a problem. This lower hose also will need to be removed, and that is only because it was originally installed with the turning screw that has a head that's not accessible, and so I'm gonna have to just take it out from the top connection here and remove the entire radiator along with the lower hose, and when I do it again, I will make sure that the band is installed such that the screw can be tightened from the top. So that's what I'm going to be removing. There is going to be a little a tie wrap here that'll have to be cut off and replaced. It holds a wire harness and holds it in place, so that'll have to be cut off too. So here's the radiator out of the car, the old one, and here's the new one. Got it off eBay, $45. A few differences between the two. First notable one being that it has 2 extra connections that are intended for cooling the automatic transmission fluid. This one doesn't have it, but that's because my car is a manual transmission. What it also did not come with were the rubber bushings that are supposed to hold on, and so I've removed them from the old one. They seem to be still in pretty good shape, so I'm going to reuse them. Installation is going to be fairly straightforward. It's just the reverse of the removal, and it's going to start now. So the new radiator has been installed. It's in place, bolted down, check. Bolted down, check. Lower hose pipe has been installed, and the clamps have been tightened. The fan has been reinstalled, and the 4 nuts have been tightened. The electrical connection has been made down there. The harness has been reattached to the clamp. Fresh tie wrap has been installed. Top radiator hose has been installed, and the clamps have been tightened. The battery has been installed. The tank, overflow tank, has been installed. Everything is nice and tight. All we need to do now is fill it up with coolant and top it off, and we'll check for leaks and see how it goes. Thanks for watching, guys.